Happy 2025. This is going to be a very interesting year. I mean, it's going to be a year where we get ready for the 2026 elections. And just like we've learned in the past, Mr. Museveni is going to be employing his tactics that usually help him keep his grip on power. And what are these tactics? Abduction, torture, murder people, and bribes. It is very unfortunate, but this is the reality. And someone might say, now that we know that, why not actually leave him to do whatever he wants, whatever he wishes? No, that shouldn't be the way. It is the normalization of the Museveni bad tendencies. It is the normalization of a country where you don't want your children to live. We have to speak against this until Museveni leaves power. So it is yet another year where I'm going to be amplifying my voice, using this platform to speak against Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and his enablers surrounding him, who are hell-bent on keeping him in power, because the more he stays in power, the more they get crumbs off his table. So, welcome yet again to Mordecai Murisa YouTube channel.
You're watching Mordecai Murisa Political Commentary. Please consider subscribing to help grow Uganda's Voices of Struggle ecosystem. Thank you.
Very glad to be here on Mordecai Murisa TV.
Hi, my name is Mordecai Murisa. I'm so glad that you're keeping your eyes on this YouTube channel. We were able to go beyond 10,000 subscribers last year, and our target now this year is to go beyond 20,000, 30,000 and more. So please make sure that you hit that subscription button and the notification bell, like this video, share it with folks in videos and groups. But before I go far, I would like to let you know that I was able to publish my book last year, The Odyssey of the Optimist, as you see on the screen. Head over to the Amazon and order yourself a copy. It is the story of my life. The foreword was written by none other than the leader of opposition in Ugandan Parliament, Joel Senyonyi. So you want to grab yourself a copy and let me know where you're watching me from. More especially, if you grab a copy, please do not worry to send me a picture. Let me know. That's one way you can support my work. Now, ladies and gentlemen, like I said in the introduction, you might be wondering why I begin with this year with making comments on Muhoozi Kainerugaba. I mean, his chaos, his mind of, what should I want to be as decent as I can, but his mind that is detached from reality continues to dominate new media and mainstream media in Uganda and the entire world. And Muhoozi is doing something, especially to those folks who are opposed to the regime of his dad. Now, your mind might take you to Bobby Wine and other opposition figures. No, especially those folks who are within the NRM establishment, who are opposed to what he says. Muhoozi looks them in the eyes and says, I dare you. That's the word of Muhoozi. I dare you. Show me what you can do. It is very unfortunate. I will read you a few things that he posted as we close 2024. He went on his social media platform again. This man, I want to remind you one thing, is a married man with 3 children. He went on and he was expressing, he was proclaiming love, showing love to a US star, world star Beyonce. He started with saying, but how long will I wait for Beyonce? As you see on the screen, does she know how many cows I have? Jay-Z is an impoverished guy. He doesn't even have one Nkore cow. How will he look after my woman? Now, detached from reality and going after attention and traffic on social media, this is what he writes about Beyonce. He says, this lady needs rescue from her ex-husband. She's called Beyonce Bamuronde. Now, you might see all these and dismiss them as jokes. But this is the chief of our defense forces. If you dismiss them as jokes, understand how he's perceived in other countries. If the commander of our defense forces uses their social media platforms to write these things and you're not concerned, something is not right with you. We've become a laughing stock. He went on to say, like I read you, how long will I wait for Beyonce? Like, she know how many cows I have. Come on, what are we doing here? And before he did that, he went on to pass a warning to every Ugandan. This is what he wrote on his Twitter X platform. Okay, he says, 2025, this year, is the year Ugandans will learn what the rule of law and order means. Proclamation Mac. Any police commander who does not shut down any public meeting where the president, CDF, senior government officials, or member of the first family is being abused will face strong actions. Now, we're talking about the North Korea style of leadership, emblematic here. You're not allowed to, and remember, you have to understand, he's the one who knows the true definition of an abuse. He says that you have to shut down the meeting if a senior government official, himself, his dad, his mother are being abused. Shut it down. Now, there's a friend of mine who told me a story about Rwanda and how Kagame has been able to employ fear in Rwanda. One time, a friend was visiting from USA and was flying to Rwanda to visit this family he had not seen in quite a while. And when he got to Rwanda, this family had a portrait of Kagame in the sitting room. And this friend who was flying from the USA started talking about politics and said, oh boy, Kagame has been in power for so long. And this person, the host, immediately stopped him, says, shh, wait. He had to carry the portrait of Kagame, put it in the bedroom, locked the door, and then told him, now we can talk. Now, did this happen? I don't know. But what do we learn? The moral of the story. It shows you how afraid people of Rwanda are about talking about their president, even when they're talking about truth and facts. They're even afraid of the portrait of Kagame. This is what Museveni wants in Uganda. And his son is telling you. These are not mere jokes. Don't look at all these things and be like, there's no big deal. This is a big deal. Remember, Museveni is surrounded by obsequious lackeys who say yes to everything he says. These obsequious men and women are the ones who have allowed this man to be elevated to the highest ranking position in the UPDF, because they cannot challenge Mr. Museveni. Now, when he says this, what he's trying to say is, I dare you. Show me that you got balls. Speak against me. Say no. When he writes all these kind of things, no member of the UPDF is going to come out and say, that's wrong. Is going to question him. When he writes this message, you might treat it as a joke, but he's writing towards high-ranking officials, the UPDF High Command, and all these folks who are in the regime of Mr. Museveni but are opposed to the way he's leading our country. And he's telling them, I dare you. None. All these folks that you see who pose as untouchables, the Ivan Koretas of this world, the Kahindo Tafire who usually come out with their braggadocio tone, all these Felix Kulaije, name them. They're cowards. He's looking at them and telling them, Show me what you can do. I dare you. And I can guarantee you, he dares them. They cannot do it. No one is going to question him. They will all bend low like an envelope and say, yes, sir. They will bow down to the dear leader, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and his neighbor baby, Muhoozi Kainerugaba. It is very unfortunate. These are not mere jokes. If we have a son like this guy who says all these things and no one in the UPDF is willing to stand up and say, this is contrary to the Constitution, and I'm referring now to his plans of running for president while he's still serving the military. None, no single person in the military came out and said, I think that's wrong. No, zero. Because every time he says such kind of things, every time he unveils those kind of plans, he's trying to say, I dare you. Challenge me. I dare you. And no one dares him. It is very, very wrong. But just like we learn from books like this one, The Dictator's Handbook, these folks usually don't work, by themselves. They don't work alone. They usually have enablers. Let me give you an example of Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler was able to consolidate power from 1933 to 45. Not because he was exceptional, not because he did everything by himself. He was surrounded by men and women who enabled him to commit terror he committed in those years he was in power. Folks like Joseph Goebbels, Minister for Propaganda, are some of the people that enabled him. Folks like Hermann Göring, the leader of the Nazi Party. You can look at the leader of the NRM right now. Folks like Heinrich Himmler, the second in command of Adolf Hitler. Folks like Joachim von Ribbentrop. Folks like Martin Bormann, the foreign minister, or folks like Walter Frank, the president of the Reichsbank. He was an economist. All these people are the ones that enabled Adolf Hitler. And Museveni is surrounded by enablers. Many of them can recognize how down the rabbit hole our country is going, and they're not willing to stand up against him. One, they're afraid of him. Two, like I told you, they've amassed a lot of wealth, and the consolidation of power by Mr. Museveni secures their wealth. So there's no way they will challenge him. What does this say to you and I? Uganda is facing a leadership vacuum. Our country is being led by cowards. Folks who cannot use their voices, who cannot stand up. Folks who are selfish and greedy. And it tells us never to lose hope. Because time and time again in history, we've always seen that folks like him, Museveni and his enablers, usually go down and a new race of leadership rises up. It could be you, it could be me, but never lose hope. 2025 is a year of redefining who we are. If you're in Uganda, get actively involved in the politics and the current affairs of your country. And if you're not in Uganda, find ways of how you can support better leaders. We need them. Our country is dying at the watch of you and I. If we can't do it, nobody else is going to do it. The more we don't do it, the more we maintain these folks in power. I mean, you saw what happened. Of recent, he threatened Reru. Muhoozi Kainerugaba did. Nobody in the UPDF says, I think that's wrong. Not even media stations in Uganda actually question military officers. I'm not blaming them. They might, they could be attempting to interview folks in the military and ask them, what do you say about this? But I'm quite certain they only get one response, no comment. This should inspire us. Do not be heartbroken. Do not lose hope. This should inspire us and have hope in the future of our country. It's always darkest before dawn. We are in the dark moments as we speak in our country. But soon, everything will be all right. Okay. My name is Mordecai Muhoozi. I do really appreciate you so much for keeping your eyes on this YouTube channel. Head over, go on and subscribe, and head over to the Amazon and order yourself The Odyssey of the Optimist. That's my book. Till we catch up again, my name is Mordecai Muhoozi. Bye-bye.
Did you enjoy what you just watched? I'm going to guess that you did. How about you consider subscribing to Mordecai Muhoozi YouTube channel? Thank you.